Hi everybody, Humbly here. Welcome back to Writer's Corner, or welcome here if you're new. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm happy that you decided to stop by. So based on the title of this video, this is my very first write with me. I'm absolutely really excited. And honestly, I've been contemplating doing this video for a long time actually. So if you've watched the introducing the Writer's Corner video, then you know that I have been writing a book, a novel actually, and I have been kind of trying to dive into it in a more serious manner, actually developing a world and actually diving into each character to make them more of a 3D persona, I suppose, than just a flaccid character on a page, which is kind of, in all honesty, what I've been doing. So, because of that, this is a full in-depth process for me. I'm learning as I go. I'm definitely not expert at this. I'm definitely still watching others on YouTube doing the same thing. Learning different tips and tricks to writing kind of the best novel and getting the best out there for readers and for, other writers who love to read, because I feel like those are the more critical readers, but I kind of want something that will stand out as well. So before we jump into the write with me, I do want to kind of specify what kind of write with me's I want to do. I have seen a lot of people do sprints where it's for a certain period of time and then they have a break and then a certain period of time. So I don't do any of that. I'm one of those writers where once I am started, I will go for an hour, 2 hours. My longest I've ever just sat and written was 3.5 hours before I was oh, I should probably eat some food and drink some water. And then I did that, and then I came right back. So I'm not a 20-minute or 30-minute writer. I feel that goes by way too fast, and I get really zoned in. Because of that, the way that I'm going to do this time is I'm going to do an hour of writing, and then I'm going to have 15 minutes of a break and a recap, and then I will do 30 minutes of kind of like a finishing up, of where I'm at, just to kind of see what this video was and hopefully you guys like it. So I'm not sure where this video is, I'm not sure how long, but just from that, it's about 1 hour and 45 minutes just on those 3 things. So you don't have to follow along with me. If you like breaks, then feel free to take a break whenever you need to. I am also going to be using my iPad 11-inch Pro. This is 2 years old. So today is January 26th of 2022, and I got this in 2019. So that's when I got this. That's how old. It is still up to date, so I really love it. I still recommend anybody to get it. It's amazing. So I'm using just a regular timer. I did use Study Bunny for a while, but I don't know, I couldn't get into it. It was just weird. So I'm gonna use this, and I have it for, I'm not sure if you can see that, for an hour. And so before we start, I'm just gonna kind of give you a kind of synopsis, I guess, work in progress synopsis of my novel. So my novel is an adult fantasy, and it takes place half in human on Earth, and then half kind of in this magical place that kind of is its own entity. It doesn't really have a time or space or actual location. You just kind of get to it. And you get to it based on these wooden gates. i.e. like gigantic behind trees, in random locations across the globe. And you get to these specific trees, and there's a process that these characters have to go through in order to activate this gate in order to get to this magical place. That's the setting. And the plot of this is a work in progress. It's forever evolving because it started off with like the classic, it's like a love story, and there's obvious like issues. It is a romance, adult romance fantasy. I love the part of life that is stark and it's real, because I find that the emotional aspects of life make it magical. Like, that's what makes it magical, you know? Like, when you go walking on a beach, the beach itself is not magical. It's the act of you walking on it and the way you walk on it and you taking in that scenery. That's what makes it magical. So it's the emotions of life that I feel add a little, dare we say, razzle dazzle to a story. Because of that, I want each of my characters to feel genuine, but I also want them to come across almost like an embodiment of the way that any person can feel in a given situation. And that is a task all on its own, but couple that with actually world building for the first time. I'm so excited to start, but I'm also like, it's a daunting process for me, as I've said before. So a kind of rundown on where I am at. Let's turn the camera. All right, so I have a candle going. I always, when writing, I always have a candle going. It's kind of a natural thing for me. As well as having a diffuser. I can't turn the camera around to show you the diffuser behind the camera. But I always have a candle going. The diffuser is just water. It's just to help with the air in here. Because I live in Florida and I don't like my windows open because of all the bugs. So I like, some different airs to be introduced. But I also do a candle always when I'm writing, regardless. So I got this keyboard. I did a review of this keyboard in another video. I'll link that down below. And this is a MacBook Air 2019 as well. But I just recently got this. I absolutely love it. It's pink and I don't know, I love it. Where I'm at is I'm actually in the first chapter, and I am in the first chapter, and what I did was I had to go back. So I started with about 40,000 words. I had just been typing basic word vomit, basically getting the skeleton structure of my story down. So I got about 40,000 words of that done. Then I realized at that point I wanted chapters, not just a run-on of a story, which is what I had originally started. Then I had to break that down into chapters. But then I realized that most of it was more or less just like 1 or 2 chapters, but it was a lot kind of mumbled and word vomited in there, along with some historical things, along with some past tense, along with some this is what's going on at the same time in a different time. Like, it was a lot going on in that word vomit. So I broke all that down in my Scrivener file, and I had to compartmentalize everything. Then I sorted through it, and I just kind of did a huge bath of it, basically. I washed the word vomit, and I ended up with a very solid, most 3/4 of a first chapter. And with that is about, let me let me get out of composition. Okay, so right now, of my first chapter, I don't know if you've been getting lower this whole time. Sorry about that if you have. So, my first chapter right now is at 16,792 words. My goal is potentially to have it at 20,000 words, only because I'm a very, like I said, like a detailed person. So I wanted to have that feel within the story that it was going to be detailed. It was going to be, it would pull you in. You know, you would feel included in the world. Now, with that also became my obstacle. I was using this same kind of profile, the same filter for the entire story. Both parts of the story, I was doing that. So the magical world part, I was using regular earth elements to it and just calling it magical, as opposed to it actually being magical and it speaking for itself. So I had to not necessarily bum shuck everything I was doing before, but I did have to kind of give it another wash. I had to wash what I had already washed, which I hate doing, but I did. I had to add this magical element to it. Now, what is that? I decided to create a language, like to create an entire language for the people in this particular world. Like, not like, oh, they don't speak English. Like, they're gonna speak English. But I wanted them to have a language for things. Like, a position in the family has a specific title in this language. A job position has a specific title in this place. This, you know, this is an iPad here, but there, this is called something else. And not only is it called something else, but it does extra things that this can't do because it's made here for me. Does that make sense? I feel like that should make sense. Like, it's made for humans, it's made for us, it's made for what we are capable of doing. But in their world, their tablet is not called a tablet, it's called something else, and it does similar things to what ours can do, and then some. So I have to more or less create that balance. I have to create that world. What are things called? What can they do? Why are they, like, how are they similar, but also how are they obviously different? And I'm doing that because there are certain humans that are in both places or can be in both places. So I want there to be a link for the reader, because obviously you guys aren't from that place, but for the reader to understand the correlation between those things. So that is where I'm at, is infusing this new language that I'm still building into what the first chapter I've already typed. I'm trying to infuse those two things because I've also made their speech patterns different now that I've given them a new language. I know what that language sounds like in my head now. So I have to change their speech patterns to hit that flow of that rhythm. So because of that, they sound more genuine to me now. I keep saying sound and hear as if it is, but you're here, so you know what I'm talking about, so I'm just gonna roll with it, right? I'm not crazy. But they come off the page as genuine. They come off more three-dimensional than they did before. So, because before they kind of felt a little purposefully made for this situation, as opposed to these people were thrown into a situation, now how do they handle it? So I wanted their world to feel that real. That's what I'm in the middle of doing. And to kind of show you, so I use GoodNotes for all of my novel planning. And I use like stickers and things like that. I cannot show you a close-up, so all you can see is this. Because there was a lot in here. I have been working on this book, honestly off and on last year, but I've really dived deep in since the first. So I've planned a lot of different things, but I also have to completely overhaul a lot of these notes because, like I said, I'm forever evolving in building my novel. So I haven't included the new language in a lot of these notes. So some of these are half done, which is why you see this is like erased. There was a lot here, but I've had to fix it and go back and do it again, which is why I love digital notes. But I digress. I do that a lot. I apologize. So this is the language. So the pink words that you see here, even though you might not be able to tell that they're pink, they are pink, trust me. The pink words that you see here in the different tones are the words that I've created. And then all of the writing here is what it means, the context, and things like that. I'm still working on it, but the words that I've created so far are words that I can utilize within the first chapter, ones that feel natural to the settings and the scenes that I've started. And so we're just gonna keep going with this. It's gonna be great. I've got at least all of my characters for the novel already labeled. Kinda. I've got all the main ones labeled. The ones that make sense, the ones that need profiles, the ones that need character. The ones that need character traits, I should say. All of those characters are already written down, they're named, I know how old they all are. All of those things are already down. But not all of them have all of the character arc information in them. The profile's not complete for all of them. But we'll get there. We'll get there. I also know the timeline of this novel. It's going to be all within a year. So that means a lot of things have to feel organic, and some things will feel magical on purpose. So that's why I'm giving myself a year, but that's also a lot of time within a book. I don't know how big this novel will be. I do know it'll be 10 chapters based on the year. Give or take, if each chapter is like 20,000 words as what I've made the target for chapter 1, that puts me at like 200,000 words for the whole book, roughly. And that's just the first draft. I haven't edited, I haven't really done an edit. That's gonna come obviously when the novel is finished, at least the draft. So I have a lot of work ahead of me. There's a lot that's gonna be in this playlist on my channel. So, I hope you guys love it. I hope you stick around. So, grab your drinks. I have water here. I don't really drink a lot when I'm writing because that makes me get up and go to the bathroom. But I do hydrate a lot beforehand. I drank all of this before I sat down. It's now 11:37 in the morning. And I've been up since 8, so I've drank 2 of these. I'm well hydrated, and I have done all of the necessary things that I need to do. I can just focus. I also play music while I write. I make up my own playlist based on music that I download with Apple Music. So I'm going to be playing music. You won't be hearing the music that I'm listening to. I will be playing different music over this so that it won't be copywritten. But just know, I'm listening to music, and should I feel, the need to just kind of let you guys know what that is, I will put that on my tablet and I will show you what song I'm currently listening to so that you guys can at least follow along to what song I'm currently jamming out to. So with that, grab your drinks, grab your snacks, grab any of your notebooks, your pens, your stationery, and I'm about to start my timer. So these are my blue light glasses. I got these at Five Below, and they broke. Look at that. So now it like sits all like flexible on my face. But I ordered a new pair from Amazon. I found this new company. It's called Sojos, S-O-J-O-S. Anyway, and those come in on Saturday. I don't know if I said it or not. Today's Wednesday, so I have to wait till the weekend to get my new blue light glasses. But until then, we're gonna be using these because I used to get migraines really bad, but I don't anymore. One, I complement these among other things. So, I hope you guys have all of your things. Sorry, it's pretty reflective. I hope you guys have all of your stuff, and I'm about to start the timer. So hopefully, let's get into this. And oh, and before I forget, this is actually Hogwarts. I got this for Christmas just this past year. My mother got this for me. I absolutely love it. It's painted, and it's got like these paint strokes in it with like globs of paint, so it's super textured. It's beautiful. It makes me feel so inspired because that was an entire world created from someone's mind, and it's just super inspiring. But I just wanted to like show that. Like, I absolutely love that. All right, back to it. Sorry. update real quick. So what I just wanted to tell you that I was showing you was that what I do is when I'm writing and I suddenly get the inspiration for a type of detail about a character or a detail about a specific creature or scene or event, I instantly pause what I'm typing and I write it down. I instantly make a spot that I'm obviously gonna see, and I make a list or I make a note of whatever it is that I have figured out or I've thought of or I've put into the chapter or I've written or I've typed out. I put all of that down just so I don't forget later, but also so that when I go back through the chapter and the notes, I have it documented in different places that this is something that was said. So if you're writing your novel, like that's just like a tip, is, you know, if you're writing and you think of something and you say, oh, that's so good, like write it down somewhere else too. Like sometimes I could take something that I've written somewhere else and, like, just for instance, piercing black beady eyes. That was a description that one of the characters gave for something else. And so I wrote that down because I realized if they described it like that, another character could describe it a different way, and another character could describe it a different way. And like that way you don't get the exact same description of the same thing over and over again. I can kind of challenge myself to use different words and different adjectives every time. So just that, popping in, popping out. All right. Our work. So, how'd it go? So an update on me. I was able to get through quite a bit actually. I was able to figure out that I had gone off on a little bit of a tangent in some parts of it. It's interesting, that's for sure. How I was able to break everything apart, but I have now inserted a whole nother scene. Like, I've stretched out the scene that was already there, and I added better context and better dialogue, and I've changed half of the dialogue. So I really, really like it. And I also noticed just how much Americanized fantasy story I was trying to push into the story, and it wasn't fitting, and I was trying to force it to fit. So it's been really nice to like see, even in this first kind of run through, even though I've gone through like the beginning of this like 3 times, it's really nice to be able to go through it and like see that, okay, so I wasn't able to cut it down here, but I was able to cut it here, and then I was able to add details here, but not at the same time. I also kind of feel like, I don't know, like the way that I had it structured before was a lot of, I don't know, like it's an interesting way to put it, but the point being is that I'm on a roll, at least for right now, and it feels really natural. The scene is coming to me very easily. I feel really good about it. How did you guys do? Put down in the comments down below what story you guys are working on, and you know, tell me a little bit about it. Give me a synopsis. I would love to be able to see you guys as well being able to develop your stories, and let me know what process you're in. Are you in the first draft like I am, or are you in the second draft? Are you in the third? Are you in the beta reader portion? Are you in the self-publishing? Are you publishing traditional? What's going on in your novel? Let me know what's going on in the comment section. I will definitely read all of them. I was going to do a 15-minute break and then a 30-minute wrap up, but that hour actually stopped me at a really good point. So I don't actually feel the need to do a break or to do a 30-minute wrap up. What I am going to do is I'm just going to take this time. It is now 12:47 in the afternoon, and I have not eaten today, so I think I'm going to take some time and just kind of rest and eat some lunch and get something to drink. And I'm going to maybe write later, maybe do another Write With Me video, but I think for today, this has actually been a really good Write With Me video. It's my first one, so I don't want to overwhelm myself. If you really like this, please leave a thumbs up. Leave a comment below that you love this type of video. Give any tips and tricks or any ideas for how to make it better. But yeah, this was really fun. I hope you guys had a lot of fun, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep it humbly, guys.